The Oklahoma City Thunder, they made a serious statement last night against the league's best team. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, we're going to pick this one up. You know when he's wearing a jacket like that in Celtics green? He's standing on business. So we're going to pick this one up in the third quarter. This is where Shai just started to take over. The Thunder up 11 at this point. OKC extends that lead to 13 thanks to that Shai bucket. And then once again, under 40 seconds to go here in the third. Thunder up 9, not anymore. Puts up the 3 and drains it. It's the 23rd 30-point game of the season for SGA. That ties Luka Doncic for the most in the NBA. SGA, he would finish the game with 36 points. The Thunder lead 98-86 after the third here. So going to the fourth, Celtics trail 106-90. Jalen Williams gets the steal. Throws it down out in transition. OKC leads by 18 after that steal in the slam. Entering Tuesday, teams were 204-1 when they went up 18 or more in the fourth quarter. So this one should be over pretty soon, right? Well, Jason Tatum. Oh, man, you can't do that over Chet. Holmgren sticks with it, gets that one to go down. Tatum had 30 points, 13 rebounds. The Celtics cut the lead to 8 there. Jason Tatum kicks it out in the corner to Derek White. He drains the 3. A comeback. It is coming. But can they go all the way? Oklahoma City Thunder, once again, driving, elevates, and gets that one to go. What a win for OKC. 127-123, your final score. So in the last 5 games, the Thunder, they have thwarted the Nuggets in Denver, right? They beat the West-leading Wolves. Now they beat the Celtics, too. I don't know. To me, this feels like one of those stretches we could all look back on and say, oh, yeah, this is when we should have known. This is when the MVP conversation got a little bit more interesting. So, Kendrick, Perkins, what conversation, what statement did the Thunder make last night?
Last night? What statement they made over the last 10 games is put the world on notice and let everybody know that they're legit title contenders. And Malika, I always talk about those signature wins. Well, yes, damn it, they got them. Beating the defending champs at home twice, beating the Minnesota Timberwolves, that's the head of them right now in the #1 spot in the Western Conference, beating the best team in basketball in the Boston Celtics. Those are the signature wins. I tweeted this last night. They're a young team, but they have old souls. The way that they play on the defensive side of things, the communication, the way that they share the ball offensively, you don't see bad body language. You see spreading the wealth. They're letting each other cook, and they're doing it in great fashion. And I'm going to tell you this. From being a guy that made a finals run with an Oklahoma City Thunder uniform on, going through multiple playoff runs, when that crowd get back to Loud City, is one of the best atmospheres in the NBA. That team is doing something special right now, and they are legit title contenders.
Yeah, there is no doubt about it. That is one of the most fun arenas to be in, especially when the Thunder are this good. Thank you, Perk.
Ladies and gentlemen, I pride myself on numbers, on facts, on game recognizing game.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's about dang time we talk about one of the best players in the NBA who does not get enough recognition. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He has transformed the Thunder to a contender, and he is the best at what he does. He leads the NBA in drives and has scored or assisted on, 784 points in those plays, the most in the NBA per second spectrum. And what I love about Shai is he's a 3-level scorer. Level 1, attacking the basket through his drives. He's got Jrue Holiday on him, 5-time all-defensive. With the left hand solely, takes tremendous balance to knock that down. He's got level 1. Now to level 2, it's the mid-range. He's tied for first amongst guards in mid-range scoring. Derek White, all defensive last year, no problem. Lulls you to sleep, hits this blind shot because you lose sight of the basket, fadeaway bucket to the mid-range. And last but not least, he'll give you the dagger with 3. Again, Jrue Holiday on him, one-on-one, able to knock down the 3, create separation. All aspects of the game, perfection. Chef kiss, knocking down the 3. Now, why does this all matter? Look at the company he is keeping. Shai now has scored at least 30 points 101 times in his Thunder career, only trailing a pair of former MVPs in Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. So SGA has gone from All-Star to All-NBA, and now an MVP candidate, which is a great trajectory for both him and his team, Malika.
Thank you so much today. And, this has people talking. Okay, Well, if Shai's playing like that, then what do they need to get over the hump? Here's the deal. The Thunder, they have up to 14 first-round picks over the next 7 drafts, including up to 10 over the next 4 if picks convey as early as possible. So our senior insider, Adrian Wojnarowski, is joining us now. And Woj, in the preseason, Thunder GM Sam Presti, he said this. He said, we have to finish our breakfast before we start acting like we're on the cusp of something. But it appears like they are on the cusp of something, right? So what do you think they're going to do next?
I think they're going to keep letting this team grow. And they aren't in a far different place than they were before this season. They knew they had a group that they believed in. And what you've seen now is each 10-game increment, they've gotten better. They are top 5 in offensive, defensive efficiency. Only Boston and Philadelphia are there. They're on a run where they've beaten the Celtics, Timberwolves, and Nuggets twice. They're going to keep letting this team grow. Yeah. They have the players here. They have a group here that they can let get into the playoffs. Let them get through it. They're one of the 3 youngest teams in the league. San Antonio and Detroit are the other 2. How are they doing? We've not seen a team and a group like this in a very long time with a superstar in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and perhaps multiple all-stars in the group around him. There's nothing for this team to do at the trade deadline. Now, if they want to go out and get maybe a big off their bench, they're 29th in rebounding, something like that. But even their role players, Cason Wallace, Isaiah Joe, these guys may grow into great role players on a championship team. So you look at a team that's 23-9, and the rest of the league all over the place, underachieving, behind schedule. They're the ones who have to scramble and make trades. Right. Oklahoma City's going to just keep letting this team. They may have the group here. They may not have to go outside this group to really get where they want to go.
Oh, and to keep with the cooking analogy, the breakfast Sam Presti is making, it's tricky when you add some ingredients. You never are sure exactly how it's going to come out. So you want to be careful that you're adding, if you're adding, the right ones.
I wouldn't add anything. When Sam Presti says we have to finish our breakfast, Sam Presti understands young teams don't win anything in the NBA, ever. Not, oh, in this era or that era or since the merger. Young teams don't win. The only thing they're lacking is season. That's it. And you got to play together. And those guys, Woj is so right about the group. They were confident in the group before. You look, Chet Holmgren is Rookie of the Year. I told you guys that. This is no knock on anything Victor Wembanyama has done or is doing. Chet Holmgren is Rookie of the Year, plain and simple. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, to me, is at the top of the MVP discussion, along with Anthony Edwards, who somehow doesn't get mentioned. If we got to get over this whole thing that you have to play in Los Angeles or a big market to be considered primarily for MVP, they've got everything except they're going to get their hearts broken in the playoffs.
That's an ingredient.
That's what happens with young teams.
Got to go through it.
And it's time for them to go through it. Because on the other side of it, my goodness, they're coming to get you.
And Michael brings up a great point about a young team having to go through it. And I know Sam Presti believes this. Just trading for a 30-year-old or a 32-year-old, that doesn't make Chet Holmgren and Jalen Williams and their young players, that doesn't make them 24 or 25 years old.
Right.
They're still 21 or 22. And bringing a veteran in doesn't speed it up for those guys. They've got to go through it. They're going to get that opportunity this year.
Perk, where do you fall on this?
You got to think about the culture. You got to think about the culture. Look, we went down to Memphis a couple of years ago and did an all-access. We need to do the same thing with the Thunder, because when we talk about having the best facilities, one of the best medical staffs in the game, led by Donnie Schrack, I'm telling you right now, the science and the way that they invest into these players, I was part of that organization, into their bodies, holding them accountable, the chefs, the diet, everything across the board. Because it's one thing, right, to have the youth bought in, but it's another thing to have these guys playing at an elite level and staying healthy and buying into their system. And I think when you look at what Sam Presti has come from, he come from that under that Greg Popovich Spurs type culture, and he just brought that to Oklahoma City, even when I was there. Now, has he loosened up a lot? Hell yeah, because we wasn't able to get away with those outfits and be able to be out there on social media like Shai is. But that's okay, because you gotta adjust. But I'm telling you right now, this team is legit, and it reminds me of Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, and James Harden. They took the Lakers to a Game 7 when they first put the world on notice. Now, they had to trade for yours truly in order to make the series run, but at the end of the day, they put the world on notice.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.